Hey there, internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of Movie Monday. I went out, took a much-needed break from playing God of War this weekend. I forced myself to go see Super Troopers 2. I was 16 when the movie initially came out. Yeah, 2001 when the first movie came out. I probably didn't get into it until college though. And I enjoy the movie. It is in that same camp as like Wet Hot American Summer, where it doesn't hit with me nearly as much as it hits with a lot of other people, but I enjoy it. It's a good time, and if it's on TV or something, I might throw it on and be like, all right, I'll give Super Troopers a watch. When they announced that Super Troopers 2 was coming out, I was like, all right, I'll give that a shot too. I smiled a lot throughout the movie, but I don't think I actually ended up like laughing out loud at all. The movie as a whole does a pretty good job kind of finding a balance between like revising old jokes from the first one that people love and also kind of putting a new spin on things. It's also kind of a little bit meta-referential at times where, they're like, oh, it's going to be these guys. Of course it's going to be these guys, because in my experience, i.e. the first movie, it was these kinds of guys. So they have some fun with it in that regard. They don't really rely too much on bringing back kind of like outside of the core Broken Lizard crew too much from the original cast. You do have Linda Carter kind of reprising her role. So that was a nice little kind of like, oh, hey, look, I remember that she was in the first movie, and it's Wonder Woman, yay! But yeah, a lot of the same kind of like character dynamics and notes are the same. You have Farva and Mac kind of being paired up, and Farva's just always the like most annoying guy possible, and Mac just like has to put up with him. Whereas like in any other kind of instance, he's out there having fun, he's cracking jokes, he's having a good time with kind of his other partners. They do a good job kind of like modernizing it. There's fun kind of like pro-America / like really kind of like sticking it to America-ish, like American pride and patriotism. Of course, Farva is the one who's out there, being gung-ho about like, you have to pledge. I should go back and summarize the story so that there's context for that. The Super Troopers gang have been following the events of the first movie. They got like turned into the actual cops, and then they got fired or let go because of the Fred Savage incident, as is often referenced through the film. So they've been kind of down on their luck, out bumming for work. Basically, they're all working for Farva, or a lot of them are working for Farva doing like construction stuff. And this movie kind of kicks off when there was a miscommunication, or people didn't realize that part of Canada was actually Vermont back when the border was drawn. So there's a small stretch of like the Canadian-Vermont border where the Super Trooper guys are kind of being brought in to play highway patrol for the transition, taking these French-Canadian people into America. They uncover another smuggling plot, kind of as the events roll, and as they kind of crack their jokes and be smartasses with both the Canadian Mounties as well as just other people in Canada. So Farva, going back to kind of the America-ness of it all, Farva is very much the like pro-American, but he's also doesn't know the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. Actually, he's just out there spouting nonsense. But he's spouting it with such confidence and such American bravado that people are just like, okay, I guess that's what this is. So it was a little kind of by the numbers. I felt like a lot of the jokes were just kind of the easiest joke to hit, which I think is why I didn't find myself like super surprised or anything like that. I wished that there was maybe a little bit more, but comparing that the people 2 seats down from me, basically, like I was seated next to maybe a pair of couples in their late 30s, early 40s probably, like on a double date or something like that, and they were having a great old time. They were laughing up a storm. So, you know, it's I don't think it's an age thing, because, again, they were older than me, so I just think it's not necessarily my sense of humor. So those are kind of my thoughts on Super Troopers 2. A little rambly, but admittedly I just want to get back to playing God of War, because that's what pretty much all these videos are right now, is I just distractions from playing God of War. So so those are my thoughts on Super Troopers 2. Let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.